Hello, hello, and welcome to practice. We're going to go through or flow through a fun vinyasa, building up heat in the body, opening up the muscles, releasing that tightness in the fascia, and then hopefully falling into a little bit of stillness. For this practice, I'd suggest possibly having 2 blocks near and dear, just in case you need them. They're a wonderful tool to help us dive a little bit deeper into our practice. I would also suggest setting your space. Again, I have my candle burning. I also have my diffuser going. I just used 2 scents in it today, clove and cinnamon. It's a lovely little addition to just make your face or your space feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more exciting to be in. Whenever you're ready and set, we're going to begin practice finding a comfortable seat. Mine's a cross-legged position. Again, yours could be maybe a hero's pose or maybe a supported hero's pose, tucking that block right underneath those sit bones and just closing down the eyes. We're going to begin turning inwards, inhaling through the nose, filling all 4 corners from belly into chest, just to the tip of the throat. Unhinging the jaw and letting it all go. Let's repeat that twice over. Inhaling through the nose, filling the 4 corners. One more time. Taking a moment here, chin slightly tucked into chest, eyes still closed. We're just going to take a moment before inviting in this energy to set a sankalpa, a seed, a little intention behind practice. This can be a single word you wish to carry through the rest of your day. This can be an action you'd like to accomplish or take. It can also be an overarching goal you'd like to begin to manifest into this reality. Whatever it is, thinking on it for just 5 more seconds. Planting the seed in the garden of our mind, let's water it through some flow. Inhaling, we interlock the fingers, arms reach up and into the sky. We open that heart space up. Inhaling, big deep breath. And exhaling, we're gonna round and curl. The shoulders kiss at the back of our spine as we push forward, stretching that upper back. Let's repeat. Inhaling, shining the chest, opening that heart space up. Exhaling, we round and curl. Inhaling, we reach up. And exhaling, we round and curl. Inhaling, arms reach up. And let's break that lock. Coming to a comfortable seat. Now I really would suggest finding a cross-legged position, just because it'll offer a little bit more support to the pelvic bowl as we open practice up with a Kundalini twisted breath. This is quite an intense practice, so taking it at your own pace. We're going to inhale, arms reach up and into the sky. Exhaling, those 4 fingers come to the tops of the collarbones, thumb wraps around the back. We're going to try and keep our elbows level, our arms level. We inhale through the left, exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Nice tight breaths, going at whatever pace feels right for you today. After practicing for a few breaths, maybe picking up in the speed. Remembering we're oxygenating that synovial fluid, we're gently twisting the spine, awakening that superhighway. We're over halfway there. 30 more seconds if you can. Inhaling, exhaling. Whenever we're ready, inhaling, filling all four corners. Holding at the top, we retain the breath. Seeing if we can sip in just a bit more air, growing that capacity. Holding here just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhaling from the mouth. Noticing where the body is. If there's any lightness in the head, that's completely normal. That's okay. We just oxygenated the full body, and that has ramifications on the body. So just taking the time that you need. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna meet in on all fours in a tabletop position. Knees beneath hips, palms beneath shoulders. Most importantly here, we're gripping into the mat. Those fingertips are nice and tight. You might even have a little bit of lift in those fingers. That's to protect our wrists. Whenever we're ready, returning to the spine, we inhale for that cat-cow vinyasa. Belly drops, heart shines, gaze lifts to the ceiling. Exhaling, we push the earth away from us, around through each and every vertebrae, finding our cat. We're gonna rock through this for a few rounds at your own pace, honoring that breath to its fullness, inviting in the fluidity of motion. No hurries, no worries. But if your body calls for fast action, also taking yourself there, trusting that intuition, you know what's best for your body. Trying to work through at least 5 rounds with a straight spine or a straight position spine. Whenever the belly drops next, you can maintain just the cat-cow vinyasa, or let's make it a little funky. Exploring the spine, exploring the back of the body. Hips can swerve, we can massage out the wrists. Again, just trusting that intuition, knowing that you know your body, you know the places that feel good and right, that need a little bit of stretching. I always suggest just closing the eyes down for this practice, really turning inwards and listening to the muscles against bones, feeling the sensations that are already present within your own body, not worrying about what you look like or how it's presenting, trusting more in the openness you're inviting over what the shape looks like. You're doing just great. Whenever we're ready and the belly drops, just trying to work in that opposite direction. Yoga is about a union of mind and body. And to find that union, we like to have a balanced body. When we're familiar with both sides, we know ourselves quite well. Working just for that equality, that equilibrium, that evenness. It might not be obtained today, it might not be obtained tomorrow, but still working and trying every day a little closer and a little closer. We got a few more rounds to go on this side, again making it as funky or as small as you'd like. I don't wish to call it simple. This is already a lot of movement in the body. Whenever we're ready, next, just coming back into that tabletop position. We're gonna work into the fascia of the feet, one of my favorite poses. I've heard it called broken toe posture, which is an adept analysis of what this posture feels like. It's quite intense. Maybe we begin, most importantly, untucking all 10 of the toes. Heels are lifted. We're pushing into those toe beds to open up the fascia of the feet. Maybe today we're supporting ourselves with palms against the earth, just a gentle stretch, trying to push the weight of the hips back onto the heels. Maybe today we'd like to dive a little deeper, taking our blocks. We can see if we feel comfortable here. Maybe even trying to work the spinal column directly over top of the heels, allowing for the weight of the body to deepen the stretch, feeling that support still here. If this feels comfortable and you're ready to dive deeper, we will be here for another minute and a half. Maybe bringing palms to the tops of thighs, just allowing that full body weight to fall. We're not going to hold in stillness here. What we're going to do, not to distract the mind completely, we do want to feel the sensation to know that we're not falling into pain, but just to kind of keep ourselves busy and work for a little bit more openness, as we will be using our shoulders quite a bit. Inhaling shoulders to ears, exhaling to round and curl. Finding those shoulder blades, making big, strong circles. We're gonna go for 3 rounds in one direction. And once we fall down, seeing if we can reverse those 3 rounds. Right now, if the feet are calling to you, knowing you can always lift up, another variation would be just to keep hips stacked on top of knees. This is a wonderful place to be as well. Seeing though, if you can go for just a few more breath cycles. Once you've accomplished those 3, we're just gonna inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Can we interlock all the fingers except the index? Pointing up and into the ceiling, gaze lifts, we open the chest. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly we return to our tabletop position. Let's invite some blood flow back to the feet. We top the tops, making a little drum beat, feeling the musician within, just having a little bit of fun here for 3, 2, and 1. Whenever we're ready, we're gonna again tuck those toes underneath. This time we lift hips up nice and high. We've opened up our foundation, the base of the feet. Let's begin working our way up the legs. With a wide stance, arms are forward, we find our downward facing dog. Again, still making sure to grip the mat. All 10 of those fingertips are pushing into the earth. We're going to very softly begin rising into those toes, familiarizing ourselves with this place once again. We exhale and feel that stretch work up the feet to the backs of the legs. Low and slow, I suggest at least 5 rounds. Really feeling the stretch all the way through those ankles. If 2 feet at a time is too much, maybe just walking on the spot. This also gives the opportunity to really notice and isolate just the backs of one leg. Feel those sensations you're inviting in and familiarize yourself with them. Whenever we're ready, see if you can rise with an inhalation, exhaling. We're gonna sink those heels and just find stillness for 5 breaths. Again, we're pushing into the palms. Gaze is towards the navel. Hips are rising high, knees can be slightly bent just to protect them. And we connect to the prana, that full life force, that breath, that energy within. And whenever we're ready, our gaze comes to the space between the thumbs. As many steps as possible, let's slowly make our way to the tops of our mats. We're going to meet in our forward fold. Head and heart growing heavy, knees bent as generously as we need them. Arms can be reaching to the floor. I want a little bit deeper decompression, so I'm just reaching for those opposite elbows. And again, we'll invite a little sway. Head is underneath heart. We're inverted here, allowing and feeling that reverse of blood flow. And whenever we're ready, seeing if we can just settle into 3 rounds of breath and stillness. Releasing the palms, we're just going to level out that blood. Palms to shins, thighs, ankles, tops of feet, or just beneath the shoulders. Let's find ourselves in a half lift. This is also a wonderful place. And time just to set the blocks up at the top of our mat. We can find those supports as the spine grows long, head grows forward, holding and breathing here. Whenever we're ready, seeing if we could just revisit that Uttanasana, that forward fold one more time. Inhaling, we rise all the way to the top. Big morning stretch once we get here. Maybe a gentle bend in the back. Exhaling, we find our palms beside our hips. All 4 corners of the feet nicely supported in the mat. Gentle bend to the knees. We're going to run through just 1 round of Surya Namaskar, inviting a little bit of warmth before we go into a little bit more of a fluid and fun flow. Inhaling, arms reach on up. Big morning stretch, maybe a gentle back bend. Exhaling, we're falling into that forward fold. Palms frame the feet. Inhaling, any of those options. Once again, maybe palms to blocks or shins. We're reaching forward into that half bend. Exhaling, we frame the feet. Our right foot steps back. We drop the knee and we lift the chest. Gaze comes to the ceiling. Melting into that right hip. Noticing the stretch along the front of the body into the abdomen. We're here for 1 more full breath. And exhaling, we're going to slide left foot back. And for this first round, we're going to work through knees, chest, and chin. Elbows are hugging into the side ribs. Lowering down very softly. We're just going to open the back up with a baby cobra. Palms are light. They're not even touching the earth. We're hugging those shoulder blades in, those elbows beside side ribs. And exhaling, we're making our way back into our downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Whenever we're ready, right foot steps forward. Again, we melt down that knee. Feel the stretch now in the left abdomen through the hip. Opening up the body. 1 more full breath. Again, 2 blocks are a wonderful aid here if the floor is a little far away. And whenever we're ready, a fun little challenge. We see if we can step left big toe to meet right big toe. A gentle space between those heels. Melting back into that forward fold, palms against the earth or on the blocks. We're pushing the earth away from us with the upper body, melting chest to thighs. And whenever we're ready, that half lift, palms to shins, ankles, tops of feet, or just that earth beneath us. Holding and breathing here. Exhaling, we sink and surrender. Inhaling, let's root and rise, big morning stretch. Exhaling, we find the steadiness of a mountain. Inhaling, arms reach up, gentle bend to the back. Exhaling, we're coming through a flying swan into that forward fold. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, palms frame the feet. This time left foot steps back, left knee lowers. We shine the chest. Palms can stay to the earth or blocks. Toes at the back can be tucked or untucked. If we'd like to dive a little deeper, palms to the tops of thighs, sinking into those hips. Noticing the weight of the body, deepening the stretch. Whenever we're ready, releasing that down. We tuck the left toes, right foot comes back, working through knees, chest and chin, or hugging elbows into side ribs. We'll invite Chaturanga Dandasana into our practice. Lowering slowly. With an inhalation, we rise into a cobra. Elbows stay to side ribs, navel stays to the mat, gaze lifts maybe up to the ceiling. Exhaling, surrendering down, moving through push-up or tabletop. Back up and into our downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Whenever we're ready, seeing if we can step. Left foot to left thumb. Right knee lowers. Toes are tucked or untucked. Melting here just for 1 breath. And then if we're ready to explore a bit deeper, palms to thighs. Fun challenge time. We release the palms to frame the feet. See if we can step. Right big toe beside left toe. Little space between those heels. Head and heart melting deep. Inhaling, palms to thighs, shins, ankles, or just beneath those shoulders. Half lift. Exhaling, we sink and surrender. Inhaling, let's root and rise. Making our way to a big stretch. Exhaling, we find our mountain pose. Let's begin to flow through a little bit of a warrior's dance. Inhaling, arms reach up and overhead. Exhaling to sink and surrender. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, palms frame the feet, stepping or hopping back and into high plank. Holding here just for 1 breath. We inhale, filling the lungs. And exhaling, hugging elbows into side ribs. We find Chaturanga. Inhaling maybe to baby cobra, cobra, or pushing into the tops of feet, knees lift. We find our first upward facing dog. Exhaling, we move into downward facing. Again, 3 full breaths here. Whenever we're ready, making sure that palms are gripping the mat. With an inhalation, can we allow that right leg to lift? Holding here. With our next exhalation, seeing if we can melt the heel to the buttocks, knee to the ceiling. Holding in stillness, or inviting in just a few circles, hydrating that joint, honoring that hip. We move in one direction, and after those 3 rounds, we go the other way. Whenever we're ready, seeing if we can find that strong 3-legged dog, exhaling right foot to right thumb. We have 2 options here. Heel can stay lifted, or we can find our warrior 1. Inhaling to rise up. If we're choosing our warrior 1 variation, foot's at 45 degrees, heels are somewhat in line. This might be a little bit difficult if you have very tight hips. I often prefer practicing just with my heel lifted in a high lunge variation. This way I really get those high beams. My hips are pointing straight forward. I feel more secure and less strain on my lower back. Inhaling, arms reach up and overhead. And exhaling, if heel was dropped already, just moving it a little further back and in line with the back edge of our mat. Knee towards pinky toes, arms are at shoulder level, we're gazing beyond that finger. Strong warrior 2. Seeing with each exhalation if you can sink a bit deeper. Find that strength within. Right palm to the ceiling, left palm to lower back or thigh. Inhaling, we just open up. Surrendering, finding a little bit of a peaceful warrior. Whenever we're ready, that right palm comes around the back of the body. Again, we're making a bind, and we're either finding our hips facing forward in a warrior 1 position, or in a high lunge. We surrender, let's find ourselves in a humble warrior, chest to thighs. Arms can stay supported to the back of the body or lifted up, holding here. And whenever we're ready, we're going to try and lift back up and into a fun warrior. Melting down. With an inhalation, can you rise up? We prepare for our Trikasana, that triangle pose. Left hip firmly supported. Right arm begins to reach forward until it can no more. Maybe we support ourselves against the calf, against the ankle, with a block, or bringing fingertips to the earth. That left arm reaches up and into the ceiling. If this is enough, staying here. If you'd like to attempt a peace finger bind to the big toe, just exploring. Whenever we're ready, we're gonna melt down that left palm right beside the right foot. Reversing our triangle, right arm now reaches up. If we'd like to dive a little deeper, first off, maybe using the support of a block beside the right foot, or if we can, see if we could reach that left palm just over. Holding here, gazes up into the ceiling. And whenever we're ready, let's release, frame that front foot. We're gonna take our left foot and just hop up slightly. We're finding our pyramid pose, a nice deep stretch in the back of the right leg. Head and heart melting, using the warmth and the strength we just found to surrender. Beautiful work. Maybe holding in stillness, maybe palms are on blocks, or maybe you're just flexing a little deeper, lifting those toes up, driving the heel. We're here for one more breath cycle. And whenever we're ready, palms frame the feet. We're gonna step that left foot back, maybe sliding right foot back, or keeping it elevated. We're gonna lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling to our upward facing dog. And exhaling, down dog. Again, 3 breaths here before we practice on the opposite side. A few cues, we're making sure those fingertips are pointing and flexing into the earth, protecting our wrists. Gaze is towards the navel and the breath is full. Whenever we're ready, an inhalation allows that left leg to fly on up, 3-legged dog. And an exhalation allows that left heel to find buttocks, knee to ceiling. Holding here in stillness, this is a beautiful place to be. Or maybe exploring just a few circles. 3 in one direction, and then 3 in the opposite. And whenever we're ready, lifting leg back up into 3-legged, exhaling left foot to left thumb. Once again, we're rising into that warrior, same variations, maybe heel drops, toes to 45 degrees. Lifting up, finding a traditional space. Or if we'd like, staying light in that back heel, arms reaching up and overhead. Whenever we're ready, exhaling, we find our warrior 2. Back edge, or nice edge of the right foot, in line with the short edge of our mat, arms reaching forward. Holding here. Sinking with each exhalation, just diving a little deeper. Whenever we're ready, that right palm to lower back or thigh, reaching the arms up and back. Peaceful warrior. And now, returning to our warrior 2. Whenever we're ready, let's humble ourselves. Again, maybe returning to that warrior 1 positioning. Or maybe we're light in the heels, arms are driving back. We melt the chest towards the thighs. Arms can stay to lower back or lift. Holding and breathing here, just 1 more full round. Inhaling, let's rise back up and settle into our warrior 2. Whenever we're ready, can we inhale, straightening that left leg out. Again, we can shorten our stance if we'd like. We're keeping a gentle bend in the knee just to protect that left knee. Exhaling, we reach forward until we can no more. And then begin to lower palm to block, shin, ankle, or maybe the earth. If you found the comfort here and would like to once again attempt, peace finger bind around the big toe. Just a fun little option. All these variations still offer the body the same practice. It's just meeting your body where you're at today. Having a little bit of fun whenever we're ready. An exhalation allows that right palm to come to a block or right beside that left foot. Inhaling, let's reverse our triangle. Again, holding and breathing here. Or if we'd like to invite just a little bit more, bringing that right palm across the left foot. Gazes up into the ceiling. We're here 2 more breaths. we're ready, our next exhalation allows us to prepare for our pyramid pose. Feet are on two separate train tracks. We maybe take a gentle hop forward, exhaling, head and heart melts. Again, we can stay here. Maybe palms are to blocks, maybe they're to the earth. We can be flexing the foot if we'd like to add just a little bit more active of a challenge. Maybe just attempting to try and reach palms back and exploring that lift. Wherever you're at today, one more round of breath. And let's release. We slide that right foot back. We maybe slide left back to meet it, or keep it lifted. We're lowering down chaturanga. Inhaling and lifting upward facing dog. Exhaling down dog. Only one breath here. With an inhalation, can we gaze to the space between our thumbs? Bending the knees, we can step or hop all the way up into the top of our mat. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. And exhaling, returning to surrender. Rooting and rising, we reach all the way up. Big morning stretch. Exhaling, palms beside the hips. Let's find one more standing vinyasa. Inhaling, arms reach up and overhead. Exhaling, we swan dive to our forward fold. Inhaling to halfway lift. And exhaling, we sink and surrender. Inhaling, can we step that right foot back? And exhaling, let's sink down and find ourselves in a skandasana. Strong here, just for one breath. Inhaling and exhaling, can we take that skandasana over to the opposite side? Maybe using the palms to walk across. Maybe that back hip is supported under a block. Holding here, we feel that deep stretch. Whenever we're ready, coming back over to that left side. We're gonna plant the palms, tuck those right toes, lifting the left leg. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, maybe lowering the foot or attempting with a float. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling to upward facing. Exhaling, down dog. Whenever we're ready, inhaling, right leg flies up. Exhaling, right heel to buttocks. Holding here. Or if we'd like to explore our wild thing, right foot comes to the floor, we open the chest up. We're here for 3 breaths, feeling the strength. And whenever we're ready, see if we can lift back up and into that 3-legged dog. Exhaling, let's recenter. And we're gonna make our way into an inverted V. The feet come to touch, palms will stay right where they are. Inhaling, can we rise up in the leg? Exhaling, can we bring right knee to armpit, elbow, or just the back of the arm? Holding for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling to rise up. Exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling to rise. And this time we exhale and take the knee across the body. We're gonna extend that right leg long. Falling star, opening that chest up. Holding here for 3, for 2, and 1. Whenever we're ready, returning to our mat. Can we lift that right leg back up and into three-legged dog? Exhaling. Palms of feet are near and dear to one another. 2 more breaths here just to recenter, refocus. And whenever we're ready, can we float or fly to the top of our mats? Inhaling, palms to shins, ankles, tops of feet, whatever we need for that half lift. Exhaling, we sink and surrender. Inhaling, we lift all the way up. And exhaling, palms beside the hips. Let's repeat on the opposite side. Inhaling, arms reach up and overhead. Exhaling, we sink to forward folds. Inhaling, we halfway lift. And exhaling, we're gonna step, this time that left foot back. Pivoting, we'll sink the heel down and find ourselves in a skandasana. Holding here. Whenever we're ready, maybe palms to the mat, or if we'd like a challenge, seeing if we could work our way across the body. Feeling that deep stretch in the backs of the legs. Those hips are opening. We're here for one more breath. And then whenever we're ready, coming back to the front of the mat, we find the backs of the toes. Can we slide that right foot back? Maybe lifting it up, holding here for 3, for 2, and 1, lowering through our chaturanga. Inhaling to our upward facing dog. Exhaling, down dog. Whenever we're ready, that left leg flies up nice and high. Exhaling, heel to buttocks, knee to ceiling. With an exhalation, if we'd like to dive a little deeper, let's explore that wild thing. Dropping the left foot to the earth, reaching that left arm to the front of the room, chest shines to the ceiling. One more breath just for fun. And exhaling, let's return to center. We're gonna center ourselves, finding a bit of an inverted V. Arms can stay nice and wide, but we bring the big toes to touch. Inhaling, left leg floats up. And exhaling, left knee to elbow or armpit. Holding and breathing here for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhaling, we rise on up. Exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling, we lift, and we're finding our way to fallen star. Exhaling, left knee to right elbow or forearm, and then extending the leg and opening the chest. Exhaling, we are coming back. Maybe we take that leg to a lift. We're exploring Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling to upward facing. Exhaling, down dog. Whenever we're ready, gazing to the top of our mat, we take a bunch of steps or try a little hop, meeting in forward fold. Inhaling, let's halfway lift. Exhaling to surrender. We root and rise, finding our way to a strong spine, and eventually a mountain pose. Noticing the warmth, hopefully noticing the breath. Just standing here, do you feel the support of the legs beneath you? The openness in the feet? Hopefully there's a lot of stretch that happened to the backs of legs and hips. We're going to take our palms to our hips, and I'll just demonstrate in the center of my mat, just walking feet a little bit wider. Whenever we're ready, inhaling, hips draw forward, exhaling, nice circles, gently massaging out those hip flexors. They've helped us through so much in this practice. Just making sure to nourish them and thank them. We're working for approximately 5 rounds. If you find any sticky spaces that need a little bit more love, offering it up. When hips draw forward next. If you'd like, just reversing that direction. Again, we're working for equal rounds on both sides, but if you want to stay here a little longer, that's okay. Honoring your practice. And again, I don't even think I said it once actually. And just a reminder, hip circles can be as wide or as small as feels right in the body. Once we feel a little bit more centered and massaged out, we're going to try and turn our toes outwards, our heels facing in, arms reaching up. We're making our way to Malasana yogic squat. We've already prepped with our Skandasana. Seeing if we can use the elbows against the knees, palms against one another. We open those hips up. A wonderful variation for this. Maybe just tucking that block beneath the sit bones, offering a little bit of support. If this feels like a very foreign place currently. We're holding and breathing just for 3 rounds. Whenever we're ready, maybe we drop the left palm to the earth, our second block if we need it. Or if we can, that left palm comes to that right ankle. Inhaling, we reach the right arm up, shine the chest, gentle twist. Deepening the stretch in those hips and side body. Whenever we're ready, seeing with an exhalation, if that right palm can replace the left, either on the block, center mat, or across the body to that left ankle. Inhaling to open up. Exhaling to settle. Whenever we're ready, finding our way onto our mat. We're going to take our palms to the backs of legs, just taking a second to curl over, knees to eyes, or just melting the head between the knees. Whenever we're ready, with an inhalation, can we rise on up? Strong spine. Exhaling, my favorite, just a few spinal rocks. This should feel really good. The body's warmed up, the core's engaged, this should be quite safe. But again, mindfully approaching it, honoring where your body's at today. After our 5th spinal rock, we're going to make our way into a boat pose, but just taking a second to break it down. We find the toes pointing, heels are lifted, palms just to the backs of thighs. With an exhalation, can we drive the heels and flex the toes towards the face, noticing the difference in the hip flexors. If hip flexors are particularly tight, you might notice some cramping in these moments. We're working to oxygenate and prevent that from happening in the future. And whenever we're ready, and practice that 3 times, let's do one more rock, just for the fun of it. And seeing if we can lift up. Heels stay floating, palms can stay to the backs of thighs. We can either point the toes, flex the toes, or we can point and flex. Whatever feels best in your body today. I like to bring palms to the backs of thighs to make sure that I'm staying engaged in my core. Once you feel comfortable and confident there, you can maybe release beside the hips. We'll just be here for about 30 seconds, nothing too crazy. A fun alternative as well, if you'd like to explore a little bit deeper, palms to the backs of thighs to begin, lifting one leg, then the other, making sure, just like I just did, not to rock back too much in that pelvic bowl, then we lose the core work. Ooh. And then if we'd like, maybe exploring palms beside the hips, driving those legs long. We're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Let's hug knees to chest, and we'll release long body. Taking a second here, we moved through a lot of spaces, just allowing yourself to fall into stillness. Gazes to the ceiling, a gentle rock across the back of the head. We have just a few more places to go before we fall into our Shavasana, but just taking a second to feel that support beneath you. Most of the effort of this practice has been accomplished. We begin to come into the mind and slowly, not leave the body, but feel comfortable enough in the body to explore different areas. Whenever we're ready, seeing if we can get that neck nice and straight, gazes to the ceiling. We're gonna point those toes up, and with an inhalation, we rise into a waterfall pose. Palms beside the hips. Maybe we're making a triangle with our fingers and just tucking that underneath the pelvic bowl. If our lower back offers a lot of sensation to us, this is just a little comfortable lift, a bit more support for that pelvic bowl, taking some of the strain off our sciatic. This is such a powerful practice. It has so many benefits. First and foremost, it helps us just down-regulate. It allows the blood of the feet to flow back to heart and head, feeding those vital organs. It's said to prevent the formation of varicose veins, and it just is so lovely. If you're feeling some tingling in the legs, that's okay, that's completely normal. Seeing if you can hold here. This is the place I'll leave you to explore, or if we'd like to dive into a different position, I'm just going to move up at my mat, staying exactly where we are. We're going to bring those palms beside the hips. We're going to find our hips slightly lifting, feet drawing beyond the head, walking those palms a little closer, now beneath the pelvic bowl. Can we lift the hips and begin driving into those elbows? I suggest exploring this 1 to 2 times before takeoff. If you're very familiar with shoulder stand, just meeting me there. Whenever we're ready, the weight falls into the elbows. We support the lower back with the palms, and the legs lift up. The weight's in the shoulders and the elbows. The neck is getting a gentle stretch. We're doing this for our lymphatic drainage. Massaging out the throat, holding and breathing here. Whenever we're ready, seeing if slowly we can draw those knees towards our eyes, feeling the weight now fall behind the head. We stretch the legs long, toes to the earth. If toes can reach the earth, palms release from the back of the back. And we go and slowly massage out the vertebrae. Meeting back in our waterfall. We're here just for 15 to 30 more seconds. If we found this quite comfortable, feeling right and free to stay here. Now though, we are preparing to end the practice, so just working into one more twist. We'll hug right knee towards the chest. Our left leg will grow long. Left palm over to the right knee. We cross it over just for a supine twist. Gently bringing out that spinal column. gazes towards the ceiling or just over those right palms. A great variation here. If the knee feels like it's floating super high, just sticking a block underneath, finding the support of earth raised up to meet you. If you'd like to dive a little deeper, I'll just demonstrate by lifting the leg. We take our peace finger behind, extend that leg long, and continue to twist. Holding and breathing here. Thinking about what it is you'd like to release, let go of, no longer hold on to. Whenever we're ready, let's slowly return to center. We're gonna hug the knees into the chest, maybe a little rock in the spine, and before we dive on into the other side, we're just gonna take a few moments to massage out the pelvic bowl. We're gonna make our way into a happy baby if you're familiar and would like to dive right in. Feeling bright and free to do so. If it's a new practice for you, we're gonna begin just by making a few circles with the knees, seeing if we can keep those big toes touching. And eventually, whenever we're ready, seeing if we can now allow those feet to fall apart and draw nice full circles. Once the pelvic bowl and hips feel nicely stretched out, we're going to see if we can explore lifting the palms of the feet up to the ceiling. Just like our malasana, again, the knees are wide. We can use the elbows just to draw out those hips a little further. Traditionally, we're just reaching either for the inner arch, outer arch, those calves. I like a peace finger bind around my big toes. However you feel comfortable in this space, honoring that. Our main concern is the lower back is neutral. We're not trying to lift our hips up so that we can reach for the feet. That somewhat negates the point of the posture. We're trying to open those hips up, massage that lower back, maybe holding in stillness, or if you'd like to dive a little deeper, extending one leg, bringing one heel towards the center. Inhaling up, exhaling, we explore. We're here for 3 more rounds of breath. Down regulating, seeing if we can grow that exhalation longer and longer. It's a natural sign to our body, that nervous system, that fight or flight instinct. It says we're safe, I can breathe, take up space. Whenever we're ready, let's hug those knees back into center. We meet in a waterfall, right leg grows long, left knee to the chest. One last supine twist before Shavasana. Left arm grows long, left knee across the body. Gazing beyond that left shoulder to the fingertips. Again, feeling the massage of those internal organs. Softening that spinal column. I just prompt you to wonder or think, feel something you'd like to release. Letting it go, freeing up the space to invite in new thoughts, new sensations, new energies, growing a little bit each and every day. Again, if we'd like that variation, just extending the leg long, now's the time to do so. Eventually, we're coming back into center. We're gonna hug both knees to the chest just to make sure that our spine is straight before we fall into stillness. A fun little challenge just before we let go completely. We're We're going to invite a little tension into the body. Toes towards the face, heels are driving. We're hugging that navel to spine, or we're engaging our abdomen. Palms are beside the hips. If we'd like even more effort, palms are reaching long. With an exhalation, as slowly as we can, with control, bringing those feet down into the earth. We notice the effort. We notice the muscles hugging into bones, feeling that support, knowing the strength is there. We find strength now in full release and stillness, making our way to Shavasana. I like palms beside the hips. If you'd like, palm to belly, palm to chest. Wherever you can just let go. To fall in a little deeper, let's inhale all together through the nose. Opening the mouth wide, making audible sounds. Let's do that twice more. Now just taking a moment for some internal reflection, tending to the garden of our mind. If we can, eyes are closed and gazes to the space between our eyebrows, that third eye. Seeing what it is we'd like to communicate with ourselves. Holding in the stillness. Eventually, whenever we're ready, bringing a gentle wiggle to the fingers and the toes, pulling energy back into the body, inviting in those full deep breaths. We're going to meet together in a comfortable seat whenever you're ready. Working through a fetal posture, maybe coming right up. We're going to take our palms, rubbing them together. Let's cultivate a little bit of energy. Bringing these warm palms and filling them with light and love, kindness and compassion. We're just going to take it and place it on top of our heart, radiating it into that space. Through our body, thanking ourselves for this vinyasa, and allowing us to move with a little bit more fluidity throughout the day. Like water, one drop cannot carve a rock, but consistent action, rivers carve mountains. Knowing just because you're fluid doesn't mean you're strong. Honoring that tenacity for change within. That drive to be your best version of self. Maybe bringing palms just to the chest, Anjali Mudra. Let's close this practice off with an Om. Inhaling through the nose. Universal sound, a connection to all that is, was, and will be. I thank you so much for joining me in body. Om